Yo. Yo, give it to me in the chat for me, man. Say something in the chat. If you can hear me. What up? What up? Happy to help. What's happening? What's going on? Unless into MIA items are returned. Hold on 1 second, y'all, man. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. What up, Katrina Pro Music Group? Oh, my bad. P. What is it? P&O? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy to help. What's going on? What's going on? Brooklyn says, yes, I know what I think and feels matters. Yeah. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? We're going to get into this thing, man. Gonna get into this thing real fast. Let me drink me some agua. Man, do me a favor, man. Thumbs up, man, so you can alert people, man. Alert the comrades. All right. All right. Okay. You know what? Let me just grab a Zoom link real fast. Let me grab a link. Chat participants. Invite. Copy link invitation. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to invite some folks through here, man. And I know Jew is gonna chime in real fast. Hold on. Have a quick little Friday night powwow. I do the family milk club. Hold on, y'all. Let me send this over to Jew. BCC. Okay. All right. Oh man, good looking. You can share on Facebook, man, because I ain't on Facebook. El Boki was good, man. And so all right, man. So, everybody talking about Lil Wayne, man, and he's under fire right now. I wonder if I could pull up his Twitter feed without me signing in. Let me see real fast. Can I get into these conversations right here? Oh man, come on, that would be dope if I could get into these conversations. Hold on, y'all. I got my song there. Hold on, let me come back to YouTube. Okay. All right. So, all right, let's go ahead and get going, man. So, anyway, man. All right. So, Lil Wayne, man. Lil Wayne on the news real fast, right? Supporting Trump and whatnot. I ain't really gonna get all into the whole political spiel that I normally would do. You know what I mean? I just find it very interesting how the psychology of the loser amazes me. How much you can just be a freaking loser, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it really baffles me, especially men. You know what I'm saying? So in one breath, you know, many may take the um viewpoint that, hey man, it's a couple days before the election. If you think that he's going to do something a couple days before the election, you are a fool. But those same people believe in white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? They 100% believe in white supremacy. So now let's look at it now. So are you saying the white supremacy system needs Lil Wayne? This is like the fourth quarter. Like this is almost going down to the buzzer right now. You know what I'm saying? So you're telling me that the white supremacist system all of a sudden needs Lil Wayne. Let's look at that. Because if they do, that means the white supremacist structure is weak. Because why you need black folks in you supreme? Why you need these niggas who you don't never do nothing for anyway, who you get to kill and do all this stuff to anyway? You know what I mean? So why do you need them? That means that they're weak. And ladies and gentlemen, that is an opening inside of the weakness that must be approached. And if they're an enemy, then it must be attacked somehow. And I'm not talking physically, I'm just saying. So the line of logic to just sit back and be like, oh, well, it's the last minute. This ain't going to work. They need you for something like this. Like that's just corny, man. I'm sorry. It's just corny. Okay. So I don't even have to get into it because again, that particular narrative is always unconsciously, and this is the key, unconsciously, they are promoting. Tell you what they're doing. They're promoting. Hold on. Let me hit my Zoom. Make sure I did this thing right over here because I didn't. Hold on, y'all. All right, just want to make sure that way we won't have no interruptions on that one. All right, so they are promoting the so-called white supremacist system, and I just gotta say it what it like it is, because they always keep finding these different ways of why Ice Cube plan won't work, why the platinum plan won't work, why talking to Trump right now won't work. It don't matter when you would have talked to Trump. God damn it, when Kanye went to talk to Trump when he won the election, but before he took office, Kanye was wrong for doing that. And now Lil Wayne wrong when it's a couple days before the goddamn re-election. Like you just can't win with these niggas. You know what I'm saying? You can't win with them. I'm telling you. Okay. So I want to take a different perspective though and just show you something really, 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 really quick. I ain't gonna be here long unless we can get into a good build session. But I want to show you something on what it looks like on the zodiacal standpoint, right? So that gets interesting. So let me share my screen real fast. All right. So let me go to astro.com. All right. So what you guys and gals are looking at is a birth chart for Lil Wayne. September 27, 1982. Okay. So now when you're looking at this, you're looking at in the inside of the wheel. What you're looking at are where the planets were at when he was born. All these planets in black that's connected by red and blue lines. So these are just the planetary positions in space. Well, notice at the bottom, starting with the circle in the middle, which is the sun, Lil Wayne is a 4-degree Libra. Then Mercury is at 13 Libra. Saturn's at 22 Libra. Pluto is at 25 Libra. So he has 4 out of 10 planets, 40%, inside of the Libra constellation. Okay. So we talking about the justice scales. All right. I got a note. He got an Aquarian moon too. So do I. But that's pretty dope. Because now what we're starting to see is 5 planets are in air signs for him. You get it? 4 down at the bottom in Libra. We're not counting Venus. Venus actually is in Virgo. So you got to watch this. You got to pay attention to the degree. Venus is down at the bottom. That looks like the Ankh. That's 25 degrees Virgo. Okay. Now, all those other planets right after that I just named are in Libra. Then at the very top of the chart, the moon is in Aquarius. So that's 5 out of 10. That's an air sign. The only other air sign is Gemini. He has no planets there. Now, if he's a Gemini rising, that'd be interesting, but we don't know. We don't know that. So half of his chart, because we count 10 planets, half of his chart is in air signs. Now you gotta look at this because air signs deal with communication and ideas. So it's no, shit. Some people put them in the top 5, damn sure top 10. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to cut it off and just deal with the South, you probably have to give him number 1. You know what I mean? There's no denying his pen game, which then became a mental pen because the legend is he don't write no more. So, but majority of his energy is an air sign, the sign that deals with easy communication. So this is why it can come easy for him, okay? But I noticed something because remember, he was on the news in a sense, trending, and that became a mode of communication. So if you look at Mercury right here in green, you will see Mercury is pretty much in the same place where Pluto and Saturn is at. Now this becomes really, really interesting. A few things. One, the planet Saturn, when it's in Libra, that planet is considered to be at home, or its second home is called exalted. Okay. It is exalted. Okay. When Saturn's in Libra, its energy is exalted. Saturn represents government. Libra, we know, represents justice. Mercury represents some type of communication in the news. So then when Mercury is in the same area of space, we're going to see, particularly Lil Wayne could be communicating something about government and people of authoritative positions. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you to the keywords of Saturn, okay? Real fast. It's horribly distorted. But notice on the top right, you see justice, okay? I don't know if they got authoritative figures on here, but this is definitely the planet that deals with authoritative people. The past, efficiency, poverty, delay, old age is one. So because it deals with older people, and then Saturn's energy is also known as father time. Okay, so when you see old age and justice and things, it deals with this, older figure. Okay, now let's remember his birthday because I want to show you in the sky what's really happened. happening. There's one thing to see it in the chart. Okay, so he's September 27, 82. All right, so watch this. Location don't matter, but let's just say we went to New Orleans. Okay. And what we want to do on his birthday is we want to go back and we want to find those stellium of planets, particularly Saturn. Okay. Because this is going to show us how space is indeed intelligent. And I'm going to put it at the midhaven. We're going to darken it up some here. Put that there. There goes Saturn. And let's put a constellation by it so you guys can see it. Okay. So when Wayne was born, Saturn is at the hand of the Virgin. Look like it's in direct, and it is direct alignment with Spica. I forgot all about this. Now, this is going to be very interesting now. I'm going to show you something. All right. So keep an eye. You see it, Saturn. Now, here's the premise, ladies and gents. I'm telling you that space is intelligent. So therefore, this space has a working memory of where planets were at when we were born, in this case, Little Wayne. So this is the spatial area that's going to deal with government and older figures of authority. Okay. So now we're going to speed it up to 2020 to October. That was what, the 29th yesterday that came out, October 29th. Yes, October 29th, 2020. Okay. And where is Mercury at? Mercury's right here by the hand of the Virgin. It's so faint that it's right there. But Mercury, as you can see, is right here in the direct alignment with the hand of the Virgin, right by Spica. Okay, you see it. All right. So when Mercury gets here, see that's the point. The whole point is, if you go a month prior, you know what I mean? Mercury's there, right there, it's there and whatnot. But now we in this moment, this motion called a retrograde. And pay attention, because you're about to see the retrograde, because it looked like the planet's going to the left and then it's going to go back to the right. Right now you see it. It's going back. Look like it's, wait a minute, it's going backwards. And that's why you call it a retrograde. Okay. But it's really going around the sun, going back around the sun. And then when you see it, bam, when it hit back at that spot, then we got the news. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, like, bam, on clockwork. Right? So if you don't know, there is something, the thing dealing with Spica. One, there's something called the fixed stars of astrology. Okay. Fixed stars of astrology. And then I like to go to astrology.com fixed stars, astrologycom.com stars. Okay. And then we could go scroll all the way down till we get to late Libra, and you're going to see the star Spica, and you're going to read for yourself what the ancients said about this particular star. Okay. And then we tie it back into the Benjamin Banneker mysteries and government. And then we go to some Q&A real fast. Okay. Now here's Spica right here, ladies and gents. 23 degrees Libra. I'm going to highlight it for you so you can read it for yourself. Wealth. Are they not both wealthy? Fame, honor, glamour, the fortunate one. Spica looks like one star, but it's actually two, and eclipsing binary in a tight orbit of 4 days. A planet in close conjunction to Spica is protected from the heat of the, I don't know what else they was trying to say, via combuster. Okay. All right. And then Spica is also in perfect alignment with Antares. All right. Which is a star in the Boots constellation. All right. And so if you don't know, there's some work that has been done years and years. My brother Ali did it. I've done it. The secret architecture of Washington, D.C. I don't know who this is. The secret architecture of Washington, D.C. talks about it. And in a nutshell, there are three planets, and I'm going to go back to the program. There are three planets that actually form what's known as the Federal Triangle. Okay. And let's see here. Let's just switch the time. And I'll show you the Federal Triangle. So we got Spica, Arcturus, and Regulus. You see it? There's a lot of writing right there. But Regulus, Spica, and Arcturus form a right angle triangle. And this is why when you saw the definition of Spica, you saw immediately thereafter Arcturus. Okay. All right. Because they're very close in right angle ascension. All right. So they're pretty much almost in a straight line from one another. But anyway, truth be told, Regulus is said to be in the position of the Congress, where Congress make the laws. Okay. And then Spica is said to be in the position of the Washington Monument pointing at the heavens. And Arcturus is the seat of the White House. Okay. And this is known as the Federal Triangle. Okay. The Federal Triangle is known then. So I'll show you a picture of that. No, let me see. The Federal Triangle. Uh-oh. All right. So the Federal Triangle. Let me see if I can find a real good one. Maybe a map picture of it. Okay. So you can kind of see it. It's a U.S. Capitol building, two U.S. Capitol building going at the end of it. The Washington Monument. It's up this way, and it's not really a real good one. I would have to show you. I should just go in on the map. Hold on. Let me see something real fast. Let's look at Washington, D.C. in real time. Let's just, I want to go D.C. Let's zoom in on the map in real time, man, and see where is the White House is here. The Washington Monument is right here. Okay. And the United States Capitol building is here. So if you can see it on the map, we're here at Regulus, U.S. Capitol building. You come straight down Madison. It's going to take you to the Washington Monument. And then the Washington Monument goes straight up to the White House. And this was known as, for real, Banneker's Triangle. Okay. They also said LaFont's Triangle. All right. So the Washington Monument, where Libra, where Lil Wayne, and this alignment is taking place at, technically, if we want to say, like, this is what I'm saying. I thought this was all about Black power in Africa, and the monument, the Tekken is pointing up to the heavens and whatnot, right? And so now, technically speaking, this is now putting Lil Wayne in the jurisdiction of something that is, something that's Black. For real. You get where I'm going with this? It's putting us, hold on, let me see something real fast. All right. So that's putting us in something that's, you know what I mean? That's what up, Jew? That's Black. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me hit your thing, man. Hold on. I think I got to. Oh, there you go. I think I sent something to you, and then you can like unmute. But you won't. Oh shit! Let me put my headphones on. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Jew. Say something.
What it do? What it do?
What's up, bro?
Yo, can you hear me out there?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
What it do? What it do?
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me out
Yeah. But it's crazy though because the way it's set up, it's like a lot of like it's weird, man. I ain't gonna even try to explain it. It's an old loop because it's running behind and then it comes back like a couple minutes later and whatnot. It's crazy though because the way it's set up.
Oh, so it's a delay?
Oh man, it's crazy. It's stupid. But I may call in. Man, it's a crazy delay. But go ahead and build. I'm gonna be quiet, man. I'm gonna figure something out. I'm gonna call in and just disconnect where I'm at. But go ahead, bro.
So what you talking about, Wayne?
Yeah, I was on Wayne. Go ahead
and build. I'm gonna be quiet. Okay. Well, man, hey, listen, man. First I gotta say this, man. Like,
yeah, I was on Wayne.
Trump is a wild card, man. You know what I mean? And you got to know how to play a wild card. And a lot of times, what I'm noticing is that people get so caught up emotionally in what he says, right? That sometimes they're not looking at what's actually transpiring. I know I was looking at Ebro and Rosenberg. I think it's on Hot 97. And they were having some commentary about Lil Wayne.
Enter your meeting ID, followed.
Uh-oh. Can you still hear me out there, Nova? Uh-oh. Well, I'm not too for sure if the people can still hear me, but if they can, they were having a conversation about Lil
Enter
Wayne.
Your participant ID.
And, you know.
You are in the meeting now.
It ended up.
Participants in the meeting.
The conversation ended up going to. They started talking about the First Step Act that Trump had a hand in passing in the new legislation that came out about 2 years ago. And Ebro said on the joint, he was like, oh man, the First Step Act, it ain't nothing. It's just a first step. You know, what about all the laws that before that got the people locked up? And I guess you could make a valid argument in relationship to what may have came before, but he was specifying to the degree that, you know, that First Step Act really wasn't a big deal, is the way that he was referencing the conversation. And what you'll learn is, you know, and I always say, man, judges, in my opinion, have the highest respect, or should, because they're supposed to be able to leave the biases alone and be able to rule and make judgment predicated upon the facts and the evidence that's there, irregardless of how they may feel about the individual. And so when I heard Ebro say that, I said, man, like I got a homie who got out of jail early because of the First Step Act, right?
Yeah.
And then he knows 3 other people. One of them has 7 years left on his sentence. Another one had 6 years left, and another one had 3 years left. And they all were released in the last 60 days, primarily in large part because of the First Step Act. Now, we have to just, you know, the negativity bias, man, kicks in, or the bias that we have for people kicks in, and we start to make comments like that in order to sway the argument or move the goalposts, right? And so what generally what people do is they start playing politics and get upset and talk about the people in politics who play politics. They say, oh, well, you know, he's a liar. Well, they all be lying, right? They all be lying to you. It ain't no, it's just Trump is he's overt, he's very direct, he's very assertive and aggressive in the way that he delivers his politics, right? But if you know people personally, I think they said it's something like 97% of the people that benefited from that First Step Act were black people, right? So, and I'm like, man, argument with one of those gentlemen 7 years left on their sentence that act means nothing, that it's worthless, that it really ain't this, that it really ain't that, right? It's just nonsensical, right? And then and people know, like, I'm not here to be like a Trump apologist, right? That's not my aim. But what I do know is, whether you like him or not, he utilizes a phenomenon, man, that supersedes common knowledge, or what we would consider to be normal reason. And I was watching a video the other day. They had two physicists and a biologist on the platform where they were talking about quantum physics and different animals in nature that may be using quantum mechanics to have as much as a 50% advantage in the natural world or in the animal kingdom over their other animals or species of their type in nature, from utilizing quantum entanglement and all of these different phenomena, etc. And so Trump is using that same formula in his own way. And a lot of people are still trying to figure out, how the hell does this guy keep listen, man, if I remember, and my thing is, people need to stop being so emotionally attached and look at the phenomenon and learn how to apply it themselves so that they can start beating the odds and so that they can start winning more often. But you just look at the track record, right? I remember the beer, and I got the screenshot. I remember like 3 days before the election, they were saying Hillary Clinton is up on Trump, double digits in the polls, right? And the whole campaign, even when they come out with those numbers, Trump will come out and say, oh no, those polls aren't real. We're ahead in all the polls. And people were saying, this motherfucker is crazy. He's out of his mind. Doesn't he see what CNN is polling and ABC is polling and all of these different people are polling, and Trump, you're down 12, 13 points all across the board, right? Oh no, those are not real. Those polls are not real. Election night came, and he mollywopped Hillary Clinton. And then you know what they did to Beer? Everybody ran to the effects, right? Not realizing that this would appear to be a bumbling idiot, right? A delusional fool, right? It was the cause of the phenomenon. And then when all the effects pop up, everybody starts pointing to this, then they point to that. Because we live in a natural world where when you're operating from a quantized state, right, it's going to have to show up physically in some shape, form, or fashion, right? So, they thought they had him on the Ukraine piece. They thought they had him on the Russia piece. They told him that he wasn't going to get the wall going. Every single time this dude is met with opposition in any type of way, he goes into his, what do they call it in psychology, De Beer? His dead catting bag. And when it's all said and done, he ends up being exonerated, or you can't pin him down, or he wins, or he gets exactly what he sought out to get. May take a while, but he ends up getting exactly what he wants to get. And so I told people a long time ago, did a whole couple YouTubes on it, say, look, man, this guy's operating out of a different bag. And it's going to be very tough to nail him. And so we're going to see, man. But listen, I said it before, DeBeer. When we look at the configuration in the sky, it doesn't look like a peaceful transition.
No.
Not at all. See the louder crowd, right? The louder crowd on social medias, it seems like there's a barrage and an onslaught that's saying, "Oh, Trump, you outnumbered, buddy," right? Right? You outnumbered, right? But then there's another aspect to it when we look in the sky, right, or what the future holds, or give you a snapshot of what it looks like. It looks like it's going to be some pandemonium, specifically in the goddamn courts. Right? Right? Transit Mars, opposite all that shit over there in Libra. Right? Right? And then, because Mercury gonna go direct, what, on the 3rd?
Yeah,
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
He retrograde now, but I think he go direct on the 3rd, which just so happens to be election day. Right? And then you got the whole, like, you just got to look at what's happening prior to, man. Like, you get this Supreme Court judge, she gets nominated right before the election. It just looks like we finna go through some heavy litigation, right? Some angry people in the street, right? This energy gonna be squaring off on all them big boys over there in Capricorn, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter is over there in the mix. It's volatile. And I can't see, it's going to be tough, I put it that way, for Joe Biden to be victorious under what looks like to be chaos. Because you would think, man, it would be smooth sailing. But my thing is this too, though, DeBeer. See, everybody always be talking revolution. But the moment a glitch appears in the matrix to cause upheaval, to cause dysfunction, to cause chaos, to cause uncertainty, people, the same people, and I'm talking to black folks, I'm talking people who look like me, and I'm talking about people in these pockets of consciousness all these years been following these goddamn people, talking about the fall of America, and it's got to come to an end, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody been rah-rahing that shit for 50 years, right? 50 years. Well, let me ask y'all a question. What do y'all think that shit supposed to look like? DeBeer, what do it supposed to look like? You think it's supposed to be? You think it's supposed to be? Just rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. Like what y'all think? So the moment it get a little turbulent, everybody want to go back to their old, get coddled, and they want to reel themselves back in and say, "Oh no." But what Trump is doing, he's exposing a lot of the closet racists too. So now people is being put on Front Street. You ain't got to guess. And see, within that comes a lot of collateral damage where people who may have other interests monetarily, who make decisions based upon their pocket, get thrown in that collateral damage, but might necessarily really be bad people at heart. But self-preservation for all the people that supposed to be so into nature is what? Supposed to be the first law. So you can't really get upset when people take their own personal situation into consideration before they think about your ass. Because if it's a law, then it's a law. Right? So this is why I always say you got to get your own situation together. That way you ain't got to be bottled up in the group think of what somebody going to do, what benefit they're going to take away from you, how they're not going to be able to let you do X, Y, Z, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You really don't, you're not too concerned with that when you get on your game. But it ain't going to look like this old picking cherries, right? And everybody just la, la, la. It ain't, nah. Trump is here to set off a chain of events so that this thing can be shaken the hell up. Right? And guess what? We are all part and parcel into how it's going to turn out based upon our level of awareness and observation of how we choose to perceive the situation. Okay? But hey, we've been blowing, no pun intended, we've been blowing the trumpet on this shit for 8 years, the beer. We've been talking this talk for a very long time, demonstrating this year in and year out, over and over and over again, man.
Yeah.
Over and over again. And people walk away and just say, oh, that's deep. Okay, cool. But after that, you got to put some skin in the game. Got to put some skin in the game, right? So you want opportunity for black people. And see, then, man, don't get me ranting, man, because, see, man, it gets touchy. Because, see, you saying you want freedom, you saying you want change, then the moment the pot gets stirred, you want to lull yourself back to sleep, right? And then what's going to happen? Biden going to get in, everybody going to go back to the regular Joe Blow. You think he's going to do something more than Obama did? Huh? Which was not a goddamn thing specifically for black. What you think Biden going to do?
Right.
It's just going to be the same thing. And you're going to be saying, oh, man, no, man, it need to be shaken up. It need to be some chaos. It need to get hot in here, like Nelly said. It got to get hot in here. The temperature got to get turned up.
Yeah.
Right? Because other than that, I'm going to tell y'all something. See, everybody gets so woke and they get so conscious and then they want to throw the God conversation on the back burner. But see, here's the truth, the beer. Here's the truth. See, y'all really atheists. Y'all, listen, man. Listen. See, either you're going to fight physically, you're going to get into politics to try to change it from the inside out, right? Which is like what people like Ice Cube are attempting to do, and they're dragging him for it, right? Right? And then people say, oh, well, why did they wait? Now listen to this logic, De Beer. People are saying to people like Ice Cube, why did Ice Cube wait till now to come up with a plan for Black America? You idiots, because the climate is so hot that he was forced into the frying pan.
Yeah.
So you cannot understand that? See, when everything is comfortable and the complaining narrative is typically the same, it doesn't motivate people to want to create something or to do something. But the moment it get hot, the moment it get a little uncomfortable, people are forced to have to bring something out of themselves creatively to change a circumstance. It's not that complicated to understand why now. Just look at the climate in America, right? So either you're going to get involved in politics in that vein, right? right? Or you must got some, or you or third option, you're gonna leave America.
No, they ain't.
And they know goddamn well they ain't. We could just stop all that pump and pageantry. We ain't know. You're not leaving. You know you're not leaving. You could have been left the last 50 years when you're saying they need to burn down to the ground. You could have left. They got nice property in Ghana. You get a house with 15 bands. Right? But you know, then it's going to always be another excuse and another excuse. Well, I can't do it because of this. No. Listen, man. It's either you God or you not. And what is it? Either your melanin is supreme or it ain't. Which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and then the last option is you plan on invoking some type of deity or God to check this motherfucker. It ain't nobody been talking like, well, I ain't gonna say nobody. Let my arrogance not get in the way. I ain't gonna say nobody. But very few people have been talking like that. And let alone talking like that, walking like that. Don't make us go in the foul.
Now that's where it may get to nobody, right there.
Don't make us go in the foul. Listen, I just told my homie, I got some stuff in the file from 2013 that'll scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
But it ain't time. It ain't time. Not yet. Not yet. So we ain't never scared and ain't never been worried about a goddamn thing. I'm just surveying the landscape all the while tending to my people. Guess what? Manifesting in their own personal space, getting to it in their own personal way so that they can carve out their own situation to have a better situation than they normally have where they ain't got to be on edge. So, man, that's my spiel to be. I ain't got nothing else to say. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I got a presentation coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow at midnight. So tomorrow evening, 11:59 p.m. Saturday night, going into November 1st. Quantum Money Moon activation. We going in. 7 million in testimonials in a short 5 years between my partner and myself, utilizing these principles. We done ran the tab up so much we stopped taking count. But y'all go back to my man Facebook page, and I'm going to tell you something. It's a library full of data if you want to see the testimonials. They all over there, and it's a lot of them. So you're going to have to take your time. But visit the website. Right now, it's a sale going on that ends tomorrow morning. It's a 24-hour run. TheImaginationGuru.com. Click on the Shops tab. Scroll down the webinars. You'll see it there. All right? All right? The discount code is all lowercase Money Moon. Type that in the checkout. You'll get a nice little discount on your way out the door. And that's it for me, DeBeer, man. I got to roll out, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if it clicked back on because I went to the phone. All right, that's what's up, man. That's what it is, y'all. Peace, bro. Yeah, so my man in the chat, P&O Music Group, was talking about, I guess you didn't get the aspect of what I was talking about on the alignment here. So let's kind of revisit that in a sense, right? There's a famous picture, and I swear to you, I didn't see this picture until I had went into the let me see, it's Benjamin Banneker, George Washington, and Andrew Ellicott. And it's this picture right here, and it's a nice oil painting, and I got you right here. But you know, this was inside of the Masonic Museum in Pennsylvania and whatnot, And it's very interesting if you just look closely. Oh, I ain't got my screen share. Hold on, y'all. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Let me share my screen for y'all. Where is that function at? All right. Okay. So this picture right here on the far right, you know, this is, now look at this. This is a European nation that some people are going to scream white supremacy. And then they're going to also say George Washington was the first white supremacist because he had slaves. But I want to just point your attention to raise a question. Why wasn't he so in his supremacy that he didn't say, enslave this nigga, Benjamin Banneker? Why allow him to be a free man? Why allow him to even survey Washington, D.C.? So his hate, if he had some, couldn't have been that deep. And this is what you got. You have to follow the trail of victory. You have to. Not only that, I like to point out that George Washington and Banneker's dress, yellow pants, blue tops, are very, very the same. Okay? And if you look at the picture, they're forming the triangle themselves. That's the very essence of the triangle. Okay? And so, man, this thing is beautiful because now technically, this means that the origin of Washington, D.C., when it was just blank land to survey and getting set up through star systems, is black. And the first president allowed it, sanctioned it. Not only did George Washington sanction it, ladies and gentlemen, what you never hear about in history is how in 1794, was it 1794? We had 1793, you had the Fugitive Slave Act, yes? 1793, so you can see it on there. Here's some little quick wiki scholarship. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1793. But the very next year, in 1794, under George Washington, the same person that signed the Slave Act, because Congress pushed it, right? You had the prohibition of, you had the 1794 Slave Trade Act, where it was illegal to export or sell slaves and take black folks out of the United States of America. George Washington signs that. So now you have to ask yourself a serious question, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to ask yourself a question. What side is this guy on? Because he commissions and allows Banneker to do his thing. And then next thing you know, the South, they end up trying to say, hey, man, the slaves are running away coming up north. That's not cool. We need to pass a Fugitive Slave Act. And then the very next year, they pass some shit to say, hey, you can't put the slaves out. That's illegal. This was art of war strategy, okay? So anyway, to get back to Wayne and the triangle, man, I just see it like this. It's just a simple interpretation. If Wayne is speaking at the time that Mercury, planning a speech, deals with that particular obelisk or Washington Monument or Tekken that's pointing up into the heavens, which is also, I like to point out, 555 feet, which I always say, you got to get outside of 4 and learn how to get to 5th, to 5, the 5th dimensional energy, the Pentagon, the goddamn war machine that kicks anybody ass. You got to really pay attention to the science of that. The War Department in the United States of America says, yo, fuck all that shit. We're getting together in our building, and our building is going to be shaped like a pentagon. And they have kicked everybody's ass. Okay? Maybe besides Vietnam, but they kicked ass. This is interesting. because 4 is known as the dimension of time, but time is nothing more than a measurement. 5, you got into pure D energy, fifth dimensional energy, which was, again, the group, the musical group that came along, the fifth dimension. We're in the age of Aquarius, right? So the Aquarius vibe was all about taking you to the fifth dimension. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you see my shirt? Like that's my job, is to get you to think fifth dimensional in the realm of just pure energy, right? So Wayne, at this time, that's pointing up, but it's telling you that that's a very favorable thing. That star is favor. You read it for yourself. It said it actually offers protection, riches, honor, right? This is where you jackpot. You really get it in right here. Out of all the stars in the heaven, don't you know that there are only 15 what's called Bohemian stars? Only 15 stars out of all the stars in the goddamn sky. That's a lot of stars, man. And they sat and watched and recorded for traditions and eons. People that died and picked up the tradition and studied it. And out of all of the vast stars, 15 of them are considered really, really potent and special. And this is one of them. So we're really supposed to be stepping into the power and the honor of the richness and the glory. But here's the thing. Wayne said it best in the speeches where he did. When you try to put Wayne in the box of racism, and he's telling you like, that white man is filming me. I'm sitting here. What the fuck? I'm a black man. I'm rich. What y'all talking about? In my reality, I'm the king. White people in my audience, I'm the king in my world. And you can't say that's not true. Now, that don't mean that he has to be insensitive if he is being insensitive or to some things that's going on in society. But the point is, we're not going to act like, I've seen one stat, don't know if it's true, but they said like every day, 1,500 people are becoming millionaires every single day. This is absolutely the most expansive, greatest time ever recorded, especially right before the whole so-called pandemic. Like, you were in the longest bull market ever recorded. This is the golden era of the economy. This was like record setting. But let's just tell the truth. I know when I look out into the landscape, I'm seeing success. But you can also go to the highways and byways and find people who are struggling. And I always say that's a choice, right? So we can't get mad at Wayne because he's telling the truth about the world that he's in and the king that he is, and that don't exist in his particular world, and you want to drag him down into, someone else's stuff, right? But in a nutshell, I see it for sure, like, oh, okay, I get that. I know what that is. Then we supposed to be what we doing. And what we doing is, you just said, hey, man, hit me up because tomorrow night there's a full moon in Taurus, and I'm going to do something for those who want to do something and get in, meditate, thought, line yourself up, and produce for yourself, right? I'm on at midnight the same time because every single month we do something at midnight. I'm just going to tell you. Think about it. See, now that it's a full moon and it just so happened to be in front of Taurus, now people want to look. But then when it ain't there for a whole nother year, ain't nobody talking about nothing. Ask people in the Wealth Club what we do every single month. So now when the people start looking at we done already been here. We done already been here, man. Man, listen, man, I'm telling you, when I say be light years ahead of y'all, and I'm just saying, I ain't talking about y'all that's in. Like, if you ain't in, then you behind. You know what I mean? And I gotta say what my girl Cass say, catch up, mustards. Catch up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm gonna turn my screen on because I want you guys to see something. Because this election thing, there is something that I just saw that looks very can I share my screen? There we go. Let me see. I'm gonna show you something, okay? So if y'all don't know, there was a election, man, in 1876 that was very, very controversial. I mean, very controversial. This was the election between Brother B. Hayes and Samuel Tilden, and this is after Grant wasn't president no more. And this is a time, if you don't know, that under Grant, we started getting the first black senators and first black U.S. representatives. And then after Grant became this president, Rutherford B. Hayes, and the election was so close, he only won by a electoral vote. And the Congress had to appoint, as you can see what I'm highlighting, a 15-member commission to determine the winner of each state's electoral votes. This shit was thick, man. And in exchange for Rutherford B. Hayes winning, he withdrew the federal troops out from the South, and this opened up Jim Crow. And Rutherford B. Hayes is really credited with ending the Reconstruction era after Abraham Lincoln's death. 11 years later, we done. You know what I mean? We only had 11 years after Lincoln before this era and protections from the federal government, along with assisting us through the Freedmen's Bureau, totally collapsed because of this highly, highly conflicting election right here. Well, let's go look into the stars to see what that election was like. As you can see, I'm looking at a chart. November 7th, 1876 is when that election took place. I want you to note Jupiter to the far left at 6 degrees. There's a red line going down to the bottom, which is Saturn and Pisces. So now Saturn and Jupiter are having some type of beef with one another. The red lines represent less beef. So I just want to pay attention to 3 players. Well, a little bit more than that, but right now 3 players. Now let's go from Saturn at the bottom over to the right, which is Pluto. So now Saturn and Pluto is having a little squabble, okay? So these 3 players, as you can see in green right here, are now all 3 together. And I guarantee you, this is the first time that all 3 of them have been together on their journey since this particular time, because they take very long times to rotate, okay? All right, now Saturn may have caught Pluto at some other time. I'm sure Jupiter moves pretty fast. He didn't call them all because he'd go full circle within almost 12 years. He'd go full circle. So he'd lap them and whatnot. But for all of them to come together, this is what we now see, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention to the planet Mars at the election. Go up to the top, look at the circle with the arrow. That's Mars, 15 degrees Libra, okay? But where's Mars at our election? I want you to go straight across from Libra. Hello, that brings you to Aries, okay? And I got the transits on. That's on October the 30th today, okay? Interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna change something here because I want to change our transit date to the 3rd of November so we can absolutely get the precise degree where Mars is going to be. Where's Mars? 16 degrees Aries, and it was 15 degrees Libra. See, what you have to understand, and I explained this before, right? that this is a straight line of space that's connected to the wheel. I mean, precisely fucking just really not even a whole degree off if we calculate the minutes. You want to get technical? 15 minutes, 49 degrees, 16 minutes, 3 seconds. Okay, so we're not going to even probably get a whole minute. All right, so they're directly opposite each other, which means what? Technically, Mars is in the same line of space where it was when the 1876 election took place, in conjunction with the 3 planets that were all beefing with one another. So when you said, hey, this looks like this can potentially go to some form of adjudication, right? It looks like an absolute power struggle in the mirror of that particular election. It's actually dangerous. It's very dangerous, to be honest with you, when you're dealing with Mars squares that energy. No, that's not good. Y'all want to see something about Mars? You want to see something? I'll show you what Mars opposite will do. But here's another one for the book. What's his name, man? Who's the president that was after who was after Rutherford B. Hayes? James Garfield. James Garfield, right? Now watch this. Let's look at this. Let's get James Garfield. Write this down. Let me see. James Garfield is born 10/4/1822, right? But he got, when he get popped, because he got shot, if I'm not mistaken. I thought Garfield, was it Garfield? Hold on. Succeeded by Garfield. It was Garfield. Where is his? Let me see something. No. Hold on, man. Hold on. I'm getting old, man. Hold on. Let me see something here. No, man. Yeah, it was Garfield. Oh, what the hell? I ain't tripping. Right? But he was in Buell's command. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out. Here we go. Right here. All right. July 2nd, 1881. I'm going to show y'all how this works. Okay? Now watch this. Let's change this out. All right? So his birthday is October the 4th, 1882, right? Time don't matter, okay? And remember, he got shot on July 2nd, 1881, okay? Y'all know. Y'all already know. I always show y'all how every single time somebody get popped, especially on the assassination tip, they getting shot with guns, Mars is going to be right there every single time, right? Now watch this. When he was born, what was Mars at? 0 degrees Scorpio. You see it, 0 degrees Scorpio. What is opposite Scorpio? Taurus is opposite Scorpio. Go straight across to Taurus. Where is Mars? Bingo, right? And see, he was born with Mars and Mercury close together. He actually got shot when he was about to go get on a train, which is Mercury represents travel and motion. Mercury represents travel and motion, and Mars is connected to his Mercury because they was close together in the sky. That means if you're not careful, you could get shot on your way or in travel or be in some type of accident while traveling. Okay? Mars and Mercury. Especially now, the timer is going to tell you when Mars gets in the straight line opposite itself. Okay? Let's go read the thing. Mars at the bottom is 7 degrees Taurus. Where's his Mercury? 6 degrees. Okay? You see how that works? So that straight line of space, trust me, is connected. This is why in this chart you see long red lines. The long red lines represent opposition. Okay? Represent opposition. All right? Man, I'm tripping. Y'all couldn't see my screen? All right, sorry about that. All right, let me give it to you. All right, so again, he has Mars right here at 0 degrees Scorpio. Go straight across, and you're going to see Mars right here in Taurus because Taurus is opposite Scorpio. Bam. And look, he has Mars at 0 and Mercury at 6. So again, when Mars and Mercury are connected, ladies and gentlemen, this means this person potentially, his potential to be in accidents or dying and traveling, like is way more increased. Okay. And then the moment that Mars in the sky gets in opposition to it, then this could be a time where this is what I call cold red. People who rock with me, I give them a report every month. Like right now, reports just went out for November. Okay. So the November reports went out, which means what? They already know that, hey, no, make sure you ain't got no cold red and things of that nature. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I see it. I fixed it and whatnot. All right. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is, man. Man, who in here tripping, man? Every day you like full of love and la 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 la. Somebody in here tripping. Yeah. I love you too, I guess. Right. All right. So anyway, you know what I mean? But this is how it works, man. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to show you. So now, again, when you deal with this election, I'm just saying the 1876 election and this election, Mars opposite Mars. You know what I mean? Space is intelligent. It don't forget shit. Do you know that Richard Nixon was having the same transit, Saturn opposite Sun, if I'm not mistaken, that Donald Trump had at the beginning when they both faced impeachment? I'll show you this so you would know that this thing is real, okay? So let's go look at when was Nixon's birthday, okay? When was Nixon's birthday? He's January 9, 1913. So remind me, I'll share my screen, but hold on. Let me go put it in. January 9, 1913, okay? January 9, 1913. Okay. Now, here's the question. When was Nixon impeached? October 30th, 1973. Oh, what a freaking coincidence. Today is October 30th, right? So October 30th of 73. All right. So let me see something here. We're going to, no, leave that alone. October 30th of 73. October 30th, 19. Yep, y'all watch these slowly. You figure out this craft. Okay. All right. So let me go share my screen here. All right. Okay. So they say Nixon was born January 9th, 1913. He was impeached October 30th, 1973. I want to bring your attention to the fact that Nixon is a Capricorn. Okay? Very interesting. Very interesting, because these same, there's some other planets now in Capricorn today. Okay? But what I really want to point out to, Saturn in the sky is way over here in Cancer. Cancer is the sign that's opposite Capricorn. Now, here's the thing. The sun, I can show you keywords, represents a warm male figure. But Saturn represents a cold male figure. This is the classic Satan and the devil, or Satan and the Son of God going at each other, okay? But it's really talking about when these planets align, it will be a mirroring effect that would take place within the human being, okay? So Saturn represents restriction, power, and government, and it's in opposition to you. So therefore, Nixon went through what he went through and went down. Because Saturn represents coldness and the sun is bright. So therefore, to battle this, you're going to lose some of your light. Some of it, okay? That's why every winter, the light is less. The daylight hours, you see it now, it gets dark early, right? Because we're going into the underworld now. You see what I'm saying? As far as, darkness and light and day, all right? So now let's speed it up to when is Trump's birthday? Because you saw Saturn opposition Sun, right? So when is Trump's birthday? Trump's birthday is 6/14/46. And when was Trump impeached? Uh-oh. The Senate acquitted Trump of these charges on 2020. When did they bring him up on charges? It was initiated on 12/18/19. Okay, 12/18/2019. Okay, 12/18/2019. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if we can see the same pattern with Trump. Okay, so he's born June 14th. 1946. I'm going to put that there. Let me go back to this and let me change this right here to the 18th of December. And this is 2019. Let's see if we can get something here. All right. So Trump, his son is late Gemini, okay? It's late Gemini. Now, Saturn's not in direct opposition to that, but what he is experiencing is Saturn is in opposition to Saturn. It's in opposition to itself. So it's a Saturn opposition. Just like Saturn opposition Sun, now it's Saturn opposition Saturn. So that's what it was. They had strong Saturn opposition. And when that happens. Now see, that's interesting because homeboy had to resign because it was his son. But in this case, it's just Trump, a space and point, Cancer, and Saturn in opposition to that space and point. When he was born, he stays in. But when it was opposition to Nixon's son, the sun represents your character and who you are. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily you and personality-wise and whatnot, all right? So strong Saturn oppositions could denote a time where a president could be impeached, man. Okay? And this is how you start timing this stuff up, man, lining it up. You understand? So while we got Trump on here, though, let's go to election and see. Go to election and see what Mr. Trump got going on. One thing that I like is the moon is in Gemini, which Trump is a Gemini. And this is at 8:56 in the morning. This is early. So let me do something real fast. Well, I can't do that. This is 8:56 in the, well, that's his birth chart. So the moon is here in Gemini where all his Gemini energy is at, mainly Sun and Uranus, okay? So he'd be having what's considered to be a new moon. What happens, ladies and gentlemen, when the moon and the sun come together? That could be a new moon, or it could be a solar eclipse. You see what I'm saying? Where the light, and that's interesting. We probably need to look at the declination of the moon that day and see if it's going to eclipse his sun and whatnot. That will be interesting to see and whatnot. But this represents potentially, since it's a new moon, to him personally on election day and whatnot, this could be representing something that's new or a new term. That's one thing potentially. But see, he's still going through that Saturn opposite Saturn, though. That's still there. That contention is there. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you something about Saturn and Venus. Put y'all up on something. When Saturn and Venus are connected in a conjunction or in the opposite way, man, I'm telling y'all, man, it don't really feel good. Because Saturn is cold, and Venus is an energy that represents warmth and beauty, and let's go out. And Saturn is like no, slow and rigid, and Venus is fun and go get my hair done and my nails done. You know what I'm saying? Saturn is like, no, go to work overtime, become successful, then play later. You know what I'm saying? So that person will seem cold and would not necessarily be liked a lot in a sense. You know what I mean? That's a cold energy. Okay? What else is going on election day for Trump? Moon return. The key is to look in something in his progressions because he's old. So now we go into something called progress chart, which shows you how the planets progress over time. That could give us some great insight. Give us some insight. So he's a Virgo by progression. Venus on Mars. Mercury on election day is right by his progressed Venus and his Jupiter. Let me tell you something about Jupiter and Venus, ladies and gentlemen. I showed you that in the pinned video on this channel with Beyonce and Jay-Z. They got that combination. That's what produces a $1 billion couple. He has Mercury in Libra, which could deal with justice system, close to Jupiter and Venus. That could be very favorable because of Jupiter and Venus nature. That could be very, 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 very favorable. Very favorable. Very favorable. Very, very, very favorable. All right. All right, man. So let me go over here and see what y'all doing. All right, give it to me in the chat, man. Give it to me in the chat. Man, what's wrong with this Lola J person? What y'all doing today? I didn't want to delete you. I actually want to put you on timeout or something. What you gotta do? Put user in timeout? I have to put Lola J in timeout. Let me tripping. All right. All right, man. So any questions? The Curse of Tippecanoe. Ooh, that sounds interesting. All right. I'm just going up through the chat. All right. Kanye said ahead of my time. Yep. What up? So y'all good? Straight? You cooling? Man, we got so much things going on. Listen, man. I just want to say thank y'all too, man, for like coming in, asking the questions, because honestly, I took what I felt like. I took 2 years off of doing certain work. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had no, hey guys, come and pay for this because I'm doing, like, you haven't seen that. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. So I took like a 2-year break because I wanted to really get, 10 toes down and get inside of this real estate where I can understand it, get deals, and then be able to articulate it back from the successes that I've had from it, and then come back and pick up, this bag right here and start balancing it out so I can absolutely help people utilize this inside of their physical endeavors. I got some stuff that's coming up that's totally off the chain. My man is he not in the chat, but he's on the Zoom side. Justin, I've hooked a few people up this morning with something that I got a new. I'm about to take this whole, what we call law of attraction, this whole thing to a whole nother level. If I tell you the things that have happened this week alone, for getting in this one particular zone, like, gotta get in this zone. And I'm just gonna flat out tell you, man, you should be so fixated on your goal and practicing even when you're not like doing the work. And what I mean by practicing is something that we're going to do that deals with you training the subconscious mind by verbalizing, right? If the people around you don't say, yo, you crazy, you pump faking. You ain't doing the job. People got to be like, oh, he on his thing again. Like, yo, you tripping. You know what I mean? Like, you got to really, and hopefully you ain't got that. People around you, they start doing their thing. You know what I mean? You synchronize and do what you got to do. There is hella programming that has to be done, reprogramming that has to be done in the subconscious mind to get yourself to believe what it is that you're going after, okay? What I have accomplished on my hiatus, I'm telling you, is mind-blowing. Seriously, it is like, nigga, you for real, you did that? Like, I can show you, I can just, sometimes you just got to show people better than you can tell them, right? So, right? So let me see. That's my boo right there. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, let me go to my Zoom. I think my Zoom. Okay. So, this right here, let's give you a glimpse of it. All of that has been accomplished this year, with the exception of one. With the exception of one, but it got complete this year. Okay? And I'm talking about building cash flowing assets that you own for your entire life, unless you feel like you want to sell the asset to do something better. I'm talking about mailbox money, ladies and gentlemen, that's coming in where, as long as you got a tenant, you know what I mean? The name of the game is to try to get passive income as quick as possible, but enough income where, you can have the most minimum work to be done. You know what I mean? try to get it as automatic as you possibly can get it with minimum work, right? So now that your tenant is in there, they stay in there for a year, cool, but it may not happen. They may say, yo, I need to go, right? And then you back to, oh, let me go ahead and clean it out and start the process all over again. But for the most part, y'all know where I'm getting at. Rental real estate is probably the most reoccurring thing that can happen for somebody. That's an essential because somebody always needs to have a place to stay, okay? So what I just showed you in that particular sense is all properties that we actually have just in the rental portfolio in itself. I got vacant properties that I'm selling. I got properties on the board right here that I may do a technique called wholesale, and I'll just sell them to another buyer who's going to live in them or fix them and sell them and do what they're going to do, right? So we got those properties as well. And then, you know, like this is the most volume I've ever had in doing this. And part of that is I have literally retrained my mind and been working this, and this is one technique for this weekend. And in a few months, I've been dealing with something else. And I said, okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. And I'm about to come back and give y'all this thing. And so when you see it, I'm going to tell you what the first thing is going to be available to the public. Because there's two things we're doing in the Family Wealth Club. The majority of the stuff I do is private. It's for people that think alike, that want to be on the same page. Like, it's a power in that, right? And so this upcoming Saturday at midnight, you will be on at midnight. I'm going to be on at midnight, but my Family Wealth Club is going to be on. It's our membership. I'm not open to the public at midnight. Jew is open to the public at midnight. We doing what we do every single month inside the Wealth Club. But I also, that's at midnight, but 3 o'clock that day, tomorrow, I'm doing something that's called the 6 Days of Creation, which is a new workshop that I'm bringing that deals with you understanding your God-given self. Do you know, if you think I'm lying, I want you to look it up. There is a scripture in the Bible that says, imitate God. Do you know that? You didn't know that? Don't say be followers of God. No. There's one that literally says, imitate God. Okay? That's Ephesians 5:1. Imitate God. You can say be like God. What do you mean? What do you mean? So it's something that we're going to do tomorrow called the 6 Days of Creation at 3 p.m. that's going to be off the goddamn chain. And then next month in November, we're going to get something inside of this brain, because I'm going to tell you the problem with, here's a major problem that people are having. You don't know how to visualize. And I'm telling you from a and this shit ain't nothing. This chump change. This ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a massive portfolio. One paper I should be pulling out, but I just got started. And anybody that's been rocking with me will tell you, I just made my mind up this year that I was going to build a rental portfolio. This year in 2020. This year in 2020, I said, yo, I'm switching the model. I'm going into rentals. And as soon as I made my mind up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 properties. And please note that these are apartment buildings right here, okay? So these are multiple doors within those properties, all right? I made my mind up this year to get fixated and figured it out, right? And guess what? Some I use some money on, and some I've used other people's money on. How do you even attract other people with money in the same vision and you can produce something of this type of magnitude? That's what I'm going to actually be talking about in the proper way of visualization, okay? Now, I got the message. I just heard something. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why it is for me. And maybe you can look at yourself or whatever. But next month is going to be which is November, we're going to get inside of the brain, and I'm going to show you what's happening, okay? Back in the day, me and Drew had a workbook called The Mystic Brain that we wrote together, and I may bring that back out. So it's a workbook that we both did to help you understand how you're made. That shit is very important to understand the brain. This is why they tell you Christ was buried at Golgotha. Ephesians 5:1 They say be like God, and other translations to say imitate God. And I like that one better. Imitate God, right? So Ephesians 5:1. All right. Now, now the brain portion, and then I may bring you, because it's something that I want you to have, and I'm just fair. Fair to me is just because you didn't never come in and join. You may be going through something or whatever the case may be, you didn't get it. I said, what can I really do to help humanity? If I say, go get this one goddamn thing, listen to this one goddamn thing, do this one goddamn thing, your life is going to change. And I can put my life, your life is going to change if you do this one goddamn thing, but you better do it. And I mean, do it with no question, no mental reservation, no nothing. And I said, I got it. Something that I've been doing recently. So I got them. I call it 333. Okay, it's 333. It is a subconscious money continuum. The reason why it's 333 is because it runs for 3 minutes and approximately 33 seconds. And guess what? It is you. You're going to send me a voice clip. You are going to send me a voice clip, right? So let's just say, let me see. I'm about to be giving you the game. I ain't going to show. I was about to play mine. You're going to send me a voice clip. I'm going to give you this script. You got a right to augment the script how you want to. Here's the most important thing. You just got to believe the shit, and it got to feel good to you. If that's happening, you rocking and rolling. But there's certain sounds that I'm bringing to it. All right? Certain sounds, because I got, I don't know if y'all know, but I got like a keyboard and shit and I've got, I make certain sonic sounds. Shout out to my girl, C Money, Carolyn. She'd tell you she had a thyroid issue, and then we was like, hey, I made this sound dealing with a certain key, and it's the blue key on my keyboard because I color my keys based off color frequency, and we did the blue light, and when we did the blue light, she had hypo, she had hypo, which was underperforming. Hypo was under and hyper is too much. She went from hypo to hyper. Like, huh? Yeah, it went from under to over by concentrating with the mind, listening to certain sounds, and just opening up the mind and directing the electrical current within the mind to the goddamn corresponding cells to get this thing to go. You understand what I'm saying? And so now this is what you're going to have to do. Instead of listening to somebody else, you going to say what it is. So now if you ever in doubt, goddammit, you're going to be dealing with yourself. You may be like, oh, no, this is a white dude. Oh, no, this is Noble. I don't know. Oh, his voice. Now you're going to have to deal with yourself. I'm going to engineer it. I'm going to tweak it. That's right. Hurt Tilly. I'm going to tweak it so you do your thing. I swear to God, I got some dope shit on some audio production shit, like guided meditation shit. I just never put them out in the public like that. You know what I'm saying? But this year, I'm like, yo, I'm going to give y'all the keys. I'm giving y'all the keys. And I'm telling you, it may come in December for you and whatnot. Again, that's going to be the 333 joint. Be on the lookout for it, all right? Subconscious money continuum. Because you should be going so hard that the people around you is going to be like, yo, you tripping. If you can't get that, I'm telling you, you ain't done your job. People around you should be like, oh, he tripping. Right? You got to be an evangelist with this particular thing. All right? So you're going to see that, man. You're going to see it. And I'm telling you now, there's something coming up in February. The magnificent alignment. You can only see it early in the morning, if at all, the way the heavens are set this year. Early in the morning in February, we're going on a 21-day journey in February. But I'm going to tell you something. It will behoove you to be in the wealth club because, again, see, I'm going to tell you something. Think about this. and I showed it before, if you just pay attention, right? If everybody going to be at the American eclipse looking at this particular phenomenon, what if a planet that represents something favorable is in this eclipse spot? But the eclipse ain't until 2024. But what if there was some type of favorable alignment that happens right here? Humanity don't know because we're not watching it unless you connected to some people that check the stars and shit, right? But now, what if you actually do something at the time that this favorable energy is right here at the eclipse spot, and then when the eclipse get here, everybody start looking at it and magnetizing it? See, this is what you got to do. You have to see yourself as someone that is implanting thoughts into the slots of space and ether. And then you allow the masses to look at certain astronomical phenomenon, and they are magnetizing it because remember, science has already proved when you look at something, the observation effect, the wave, invisible energy, collapses and turns into a particle, which means this invisible energy finds its host, and all of a sudden the people show up by the way of the event to get you in position to get the very thing that was just in energy form. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, you can't wait to go when everybody else going. Then you're going too late. You got to know to go ahead of time and sit back. And then, not saying that you can't go at that time, but it's fun at that particular time because you know you've already been here. So if you really study these videos that we have, and I've showed y'all when we've been at certain land masses, like, yo, this just happened, but can't y'all see we was already here dealing with this energy before? Then that means if we was dealing with it already before and then this just happened, then we're the precursor to the event, which means we're the originators of the goddamn event. This is why the last series of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was what? The theology of time, the study of God and time. When it comes to time, shit, man, hands down. We got that thing in the bag. Time is nothing but a measurement. Do not fall for all that hocus pocus. Time exists in this, like time exists in the fourth dimension. That's some bullshit. Time is a damn measurement. It ain't nothing more, nothing less. It is a measurement. It don't exist if you're not measuring. But the moment that you start doing tick, tock, you're going to find a rhythm. Okay? So it exists when you measure. It's a measurement. That's all it is. But that important measurement is very important on wave collapse. Okay? Which means make an event manifest. Okay? So, y'all really, like, listen, man, get on this shit. April, I think we got it for the 7th this year, I think, or maybe the 11th. It's April 11th. Every year in April, hopefully COVID let up, we need to get together. We need to have Family Wealth Creation Day, where I'm getting back on my trips, and we hosting things, and you come out. And the goal is, man, let's all build a portfolio or something, whatever you're doing. My man Robert, he a trucker. So now we can do a truck company and put some money behind him, and they making buku bread. They make real estate bread look like baby bitch money. If you do the trucking business right, they getting buku money on a monthly basis. Oh, they tear real estate's ass up unless you got some big ass apartments. You understand what I'm saying? And so we can put money behind that. You dig? You know what I mean? We got talent. Everybody got some talent. Why ain't we coming together every year having these conversations like, yo, I saved money all year. This is every year I'm coming back with a bag to be like, okay, what can we do? And that would be so dope. And if you see, yo, this table was like, yo, Nika B, she got her own product. She doing her thing. You know what I mean? Some of y'all may be like, you know what? Let's get into the cosmetic business. Let's get into this. Let's push this organic hemp farm that we have, and we got our own CBD, and that's what we're doing. I want my money in that. And some of y'all may be like, yo, I want to put mine over here with Noble and real estate. I want to put my money over here with Rob and the trucking company, right? We should be able to have these particular conversations among ourselves and start networking with each other and doing some deals. I love deal flow, man. That's what excites me. If you're not living an exciting life and like I'm like, yo, man, real estate can change my life, and this shit start changing my life, and I'm like, yo, and ain't that now that I'm, older and mature, like I'm like, man, nigga, I'm and I know my son may be watching, but I'm gonna get you because my son just turned 22, right? He doing this thing. He's 22. You know what I mean? Birthday weekend. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing. He went ahead and got him he rented a Challenger. You know what I'm saying? With the Scat Pack on it, because he's a Dodge dude. He loves them. You know what I'm saying? Did that. Damn. But I'm also looking like, bro, you know what you could have did with that money. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you could have did with that money. I ain't going to say what he could have did, but he know what he could have did with that. You know what I'm saying? And I look back at myself, and listen, man, I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating, man. Motherfuckers will tell you, my homies will tell you, they used to call me car lot because I had so many goddamn cars. I'm 43. Like, I done had whips. Nigga, like, they used to call me car lot because I would always waste my goddamn hustle money on fucking cars. All the fucking time. I can name so many cars I had. You'd be like, come on, man, this is bullshit. I done had so many goddamn cars, right? And I'm like, now, bro, the name of the game is going into assets that's produced. Now, I can sell an asset. I just picked up one. I can sell one and go get a toy. But nah, I'm trying to touch something for real, touch something. And this is a shot. And when I say this is a shot, I'll be coming right back and I'll be giving y'all this particular shot, but it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, this real estate shit is a game changer. And I think, what a coincidence, you get the best economy ever, you get a real estate president that like to make deals, and when they pass that particular law that dealt with the opportunity zones, and you understand that, investing in opportunity zones where you don't have to pay no taxes if you keep your money still for a dime for 10 years, as long as you keep reinvesting right back into that thing, man, they totally eradicated the tax. Keep your money still. You understand what I'm saying? We just finished a powerful book in the book club. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Zan. Shout out to B. Shout out to Bakari. You know what I'm saying? Those who travel with us. This particular book right here, we just did this in the book club. Yeah, we got an optional book club inside of the membership where we read a specific book and you can put your hand up and say, hey, I want to do it. Because I'm not going to, it's only for the book club. If you don't want to be in the book club, but you're a part of other stuff, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to email you and shit. But right here, you get seriously rewarded when you own cash flowing rental properties. The government, the IRS, incentivizes you to own them because you're a boss that's providing shelter. So the employees, we are taught through the cash flow quadrant, the employees and the goddamn self-business owners who ain't got employees get taxed the most. But when you a boss and you have employees working for you, or you got passive income in real estate, you get taxed the least. That's the name of the game. Don't hate on Trump because his tax returns may be zero because he know how to do what the IRS told him to do. We got our heads blown off reading this damn book when we found out that the tax code is written in the way where the government incentivizes the industries that they feel are important, gas and oil, technology, right, and real estate and shit. And since they provide, that's going to stimulate the economy. So therefore, you ain't going to pay no tax bill. Amazon, why should Amazon pay a tax bill? You know what they doing for cities in real estate? In the urban, in the urban housing market, that's the first thing they're talking about. Ooh, the city is growing. New Amazon distribution fulfillment centers coming here. It's going to create so much jobs, which means that's going to spawn and create housing. That's right. You do the 1041 exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit. Like this is what the wealthy people do. It ain't no goddamn trick and a loophole. It ain't no goddamn loophole. I hate that shit. It ain't no loophole. This just the law. It's how the game is played. We make it look like they found some type of secret way to do it. It's bullshit. And that's the poor that's talking that way. You understand what I'm saying? This is why I had to disconnect for a long time. And like, okay, man, I got to turn all this shit off, bro. And for a minute, I couldn't barely even keep up in conversations with you on certain shit because I was so on earth getting this information. You understand what I'm saying? Now that we got it, holistic, super duper holistic. Now, I was going to show you, but I'll tell you, the shit is easy for me in a sense. I'll tell you why. There's a favorable marker. I have Neptune, which is the planet of imagination and spirituality. Trine represents it's easy. Usually it's in the same sign. It's in the sign that got the same element. So I'm in that generation that got Neptune and Sagittarius. But I got Saturn and Leo. Then I got Venus and Aries. And at the top, it forms a triangle in my chart. It's called a grand fire trine, literally, because these three planets form an equilateral triangle. Neptune trines Saturn. This is imagination becomes reality because Saturn represents the crystallization of thoughts and forms in Neptune. This is why, I'm just saying, I know me. And remember, they say know thyself. So when we say know thyself, it should be, I can turn the mic on you and you should be able to say, hey, bro, this is what I do. This is why I manifest. And this is my energy behind me. And this is why I manifest. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not saying it to poke me out. I'm just saying know thyself and get to this particular point where you can explain knowing thyself, right? So that's an easy combination for this shit to become reality. So, bills getting paid mysteriously. I showed y'all that. I show you a bill, and the bill said I didn't pay them, but then they said I don't owe them no money on the same damn bill. It's the weirdest shit in the world. We can start to manipulate technology and things of that nature when you start vibrating, having your mind and on a different frequency. It's just really that simple. But you got to stay in that zone, and that's the hardest part of this shit. Is staying to that zone. If you can get a clear, concise picture exactly what it is, and I'm going to help you with that whole 333 subconscious money continuum, that's going to be the perfect layout that's going to help you. And it's going to be you helping yourself because, again, you're going to be saying it, and I'm just going to put the energy behind it with the right tones to help you do your damn thing. And you're going to retrain your conscious and subconscious mind to be that person that you're ultimately becoming, and watch what starts to happen around you. Watch and see. Watch and see. Drew told you 7 million in client testimonials. I used to keep a spreadsheet, and I'm sure I got it, of all the money that we got from people who rock with us. Y'all may have heard when we was on Dreamwise podcast, Ruby Red came on, and she was like, yeah, I had just linked back up with you and got in a membership, but I was on the phone with Aunt Pooh getting reading, and right when I got a reading, she goes to a book. Why the hell is she going to a book while we doing the reading? You got to look at the chain of events here. She goes to a book and open it up, and all of a sudden, there's a check in there for $200. Now, let's just say she misplaced the check, but obviously, and it was dated. It was a while ago. Like, how do you forget that you have a check? But most importantly, why would you happen to find the check now? You understand what I'm saying? And so these things happen countless of times, okay? So the Prosperity Investment Group, man, you should be getting your family wealthy, man. Shame on you. Shame on you if you're not thinking about a way to get your family wealthy. Family Wealth Club, man, get in because we got some things going on, a doubleheader tomorrow. And then again, you can join Jew as well at theimaginationguru.com. Okay? So with that, man, I'm going to get out of here, call it a day. And, you know what I'm about to do? Keep the momentum going. I'll tell you what I'm about to do. See this? The other day it was big stacks. I got them down because we went to the mail. Like I have my son stuff my envelopes, right? I don't got no letters in these. Stuff my envelopes, put the stamps on them, and I go ahead and I take them out. So these right here got letters in them. I got to get these off to some people who may need my help. I am aiming for properties. I'm about to give you the game. I'm aiming for properties who have low equity. Their house is not their mortgage on their house supersedes the value. So if they sold it, they will owe the bank. And they may be going through a hardship right now. And they may want to say, no, just take over my mortgage, get me the hell out of here. These people are out there. It's an easy way for you to build your portfolio. I've built mine this way. I got an agreement today. Just today before I came on, a lady called me and said, yes, we can do owner finance, which means give me $15,000 down. I'll tell you what to do. She only wants 30 grand for a house. Give me 15,000 down and pay her $180 for 84 months, which is 7 years, right? That 180 for, it's actually 178 and some change, but for 7 years equal 15,000. That's zero interest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting deals at zero interest right now. So a house that could be valued at 50, 60,000, I can get in it and control it and put it in my name for only 15. This is getting houses for, like, you know, when the market is bad. You know what I mean? This is how you get them and whatnot. Okay? So I'm telling you, man, this shit works. If you dedicate yourself to it, it works. Okay? All right, ladies and gents, I'm out of here, man. Signing off. Appreciate you. If you need me, call me. Peace.